Hey, what's going on? This is Scott with Growing Entrepreneur. I am here with some extremely exciting news and probably one of the craziest digital marketers I've ever had the opportunity to talk to, Krystin Ruschman, who is an insanely talented entrepreneur when it comes to emails to inboxes, as she likes to call it. To be able to take your list and be able to turn it into a journey, as she likes to call it, to what do you call it? The journey to what?
Journey to $1 million list. Yeah.
Love it. It's such a good title. And the good thing is, like, the value she adds to every single one of her clients has been absolutely tremendous. So I'm excited to bring her on this call because we got some exciting news. We have a big event coming up with Krystin, and I'm basically going to introduce you to our group and to everybody's audience. So tell us what we're going to be looking forward to in the upcoming week.
Oh, awesome. Well, first of all, thanks, Scott. I don't think I've ever been called the craziest entrepreneur, but that's a new one I'll add to my list, right?
Crazy in the good sense.
There's some pretty crazy stuff that's happened over the course of the stuff that we do with our clients. So I'll take that. Yeah, I mean, the workshop is really just, honestly, it was Brendan and I having a conversation, talking about all the different ways that we love to help people. And he, I think, also thinks that I have a crazy approach to email marketing, right? And nurturing a list into $1 million. And I was telling him about a story about one of our clients and how they actually brought in, I won't give it away just yet, but they brought in a lot of money over the course of a month, right? And he was like, holy moly, other people need to know how to do this. And I said, well, let's just do a workshop. Let's just do a workshop, and why not just take them on the journey? Like, I'm happy to share the journey with people. So the whole point of this was really just to carve out some time on a Saturday when there's not a lot of other stuff going on, hopefully, and people can like pay attention without all the notifications and the calendars and stuff. And honestly, I am just going to walk through the method to my madness, like from tip to tail, the whole thing.
Absolutely. And I know that's what we were introduced to, is just how crazy that madness is and what it can actually do for a business. And especially as anybody knows the importance of list building and the importance of being able to have a nice follow-up system and an actual sales and marketing process. Like, what you are going to have and be able to share with these people is going to be absolutely paramount to be able to help them in their business. And I mean, no doubt about that, just based on what we've seen on our back end alone, it's absolutely incredible. So I know you mentioned there's, I think, 4 steps or 4 pillars you're kind of going to be able to walk someone through. What would those happen to be?
Well, yeah, to even understand that, I think probably just to back it up a little bit, right? There's email deliverability and there's email strategy. Two different things. Email deliverability is like, how do I get my email in front of people, right? But once we do that, now how do we get them to convert? How do we get them to, how do we facilitate that decision for whatever the next action is supposed to be, right? And how do we do it in a way where we're not salesy, we're not pushy, we're not moving somebody in a direction that they shouldn't go or don't want to go. We're moving them in a direction that they want to go, right? And so what I want to do is create a situation where your email becomes the message that people cannot wait to engage with, right? We all have email accounts that are full of caca, shall we say. There's a lot of crap in those email accounts. I have more than one email account. I'm sure a lot of people do, and they're just full of stuff. I was looking at my email account this morning, scrolling, trying to find the things I actually need to deal with, right? And it's just a lot, and it gets really frustrating. And then we as marketers, we come along and we try to put our email in the game. We try to throw our email in the arena, right? And how do we do that differently? So one part of it is getting in front of people, getting in the actual inbox, but the other part is, how do we get them to take the next action? How do we get them to open it? How do we get them to click or reply? How do we get them to, move forward into a sales conversion activity? And so that's all of the stuff that we like to work with people on. A lot of people that come to us for help, they're sending email. It's not like they aren't doing email marketing, right? They're trying, and they're just wondering, like, am I doing this right? Is there some strategy to this whole thing that I'm missing? Should I be sending out more email, less email? Should I be sending different types of email? Or they'll say, I'm sending all this email because I feel like I'm obliged to, it's obligatory. I'm supposed to send out email because I'm a marketer, but at the same time, like, why? Because I don't really know that I'm getting anything from it. maybe I am and I don't know because I don't know how to track it, or maybe I'm just not and I still send it because I think I'm supposed to, right? So it's a really frustrating proposition. And when people first come to us, that's kind of the state that they're in, is like, I just want my email to work, you know?
Right.
How hard is
Yeah,
that?
I couldn't agree with you more. It's like, oh, I know I should be doing emails, or I should be sending text, or I should have a funnel, or
Yeah.
the one funnel that changes your business. I think that's the old ClickFunnels motto. But yeah, it's almost like you're obliged to have these systems. But in reality, how do we use them the correct way? And I think that's kind of the beauty of what
Yeah.
the value that you add to not only your clients and your like people and your like around you is you're going to show them how to actually take a tool and a resource and put it to work for you. And instead of the whole spinning your wheels, not knowing if it even is working.
Yeah.
Um, I think
And
that's what
that's
blew me away the most is your
that,
analytics and
right.
everything that goes with it.
I'm a nerd, so there's got to be analytics. I mean, listen, a lot of people will say, well, I think my email's working. And I'm like, okay, but what do the numbers say? Well, I don't know. Where are the numbers? Where should I be looking? What numbers should I look at? What should the numbers be? How do I know if they're good, bad, or ugly? Right. So it's like, we all have opinions on all kinds of things, but email is not sort of an opinion based game. Email is KPIs. It's all in the numbers and the numbers don't lie. So that's the way that we kind of measure success with people, because I want them to see it and I want them to know how to look for it and how to respond to it.
So you're saying just the open rate isn't the only thing I should be looking at?
Well, I mean, we can get you a nice high open rate, but if it's not making you any revenue, how long are you going to keep that up?
Right. I think that's the one thing I hear the most. I'm like, oh, my emails are being opened in this percentage. Like, I'm doing great.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, how's that going for you? I don't
Yeah.
know. Like, oh, that's so. I mean,
Right.
that's like even the stuff you've been showing us and helping us with. It's amazing. Just the analytical tools and knowing what's working, what kind of, and then be able to tie that back even into your sales process, like what we were chatting about.
Oh, and
Is
now you're getting into the nerdy part of what I love so, so much. Yeah.
right.
It's unbelievable. Yeah. I mean, I could probably have a tattoo on my forehead that says like email nerd. But the thing is once you figure out email, you have the keys to the kingdom.
Right.
Meaning, like, if you know how to make your email game work, if your email game is producing, and I'm talking like 30-40% of your revenue, just shoot for that, just generally speaking. Once your email game is producing, then you have figured out something very special. And that is something that should not only be inside of an email marketing strategy, right? Like it should be everywhere. It should be if you're text marketing, if you're using messenger bots, if you are building a landing page, if you are doing a webinar or speaking from stage, or you're writing a book, right? If you're having a
Right.
hallway conversation, but even bigger than that, what are you doing on your sales calls? Right? How are you talking with people everywhere? And so what I always say is, I might have email nerd tattooed on my forehead, but really what I love about this is the email is basically inexpensive. It's almost free. Let's be honest, right? It doesn't really cost that much to send an email these days. And so if you use email as the vehicle to figure this stuff out, then you really do have the keys to the kingdom. And why would you not spread that everywhere? Right?
Right. Exactly. One of the most cost-effective marketing systems you can deploy
Yeah.
basically immediately and start ramping that up. And I think that's
Yeah.
going to be the beauty of this event that we're working with you on, is to be able to show people exactly how to do that and to add tremendous value to their business, create that process, give them the keys to the kingdom, right?
Yeah.
Um, and
Exactly. And I just want to say, because we all focus on revenue and making money and all of this stuff, but let's be honest, there's people on the other side of those emails, right? So I think one of the big mistakes that a lot of marketers make, I made it myself when I first started in marketing, is that I would look at my list as though it was an entity, right? It's a list and I'm going to send email to my list, right? But the reality is, if there's 10,000 people on that list, every one of those people is a person, right? They have real pain, they have real frustrations, real past experiences, they have real goals and dreams and aspirations. It's a one person conversation, one to one. And so a lot of times the mistakes that we make are revolving around not remembering that there's an actual person on the other side of that communication. And how do we talk to that person in a way where they feel like they matter, where they feel like we're there for them, where they feel like we understand their problem? How do we do that, right? And it's really hard to do if you're just writing an email and just sending it out. That's just,
uh,
I mean, that's a great place to start. It's definitely not where you want to finish, because if you really want to make this work, then we have to make it a win-win. And it's not just I'm getting great stats, I'm making revenue. It's about like, who am I helping and how well am I at that game? Right?
Right.
How well am I at talking to somebody right where they're at, so I can make sure that they actually get those pain points addressed and those key desires addressed. So that's where we get
Right.
really passionate about our process.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And just talking with you over the past couple of days, I've got to see the insight of your passion into that, and I couldn't agree with you more. Like even using your email to add that essential value to take someone, no
Yeah.
matter what you do or what your offer is, or if you're an agency or your mindset coach, weight loss, doesn't matter.
Right.
You give them the exact answer to their pain point, and then you can then transform that, be the transformative person to that possible client. And I couldn't
Yeah.
agree with you more. And just speaking with you, knowing how that is your passion, how to create your emails to be able to talk to that person as a one-to-one, not just doing a shotgun approach, and then
Right.
really having your passion bleed into your emails, into your copy, and then being able to reach that inbox. I couldn't agree with you more. And I love the way you speak about it. It actually gets me all excited. And when I think about emails now, when I'm in my Gmail account, so I'm going to have a different perspective on it for sure.
I'm gonna send you an email, Scott, and I want it to be the message that you can't wait to read. I want it to
Oh,
be the one that you like create a filter for, so that it files
right,
into a special folder with like our name on it, because I want you to like be looking forward to that. I want you to feel something amazing when you read the email. So, and if I could send an email individually to every single person on my list, or if I could do that for my clients where it looked and felt like every single person got a very personalized one-off, I just sent this to you kind of an email. Oh, heck, all day long, I would do that all day long. Yeah.
right. And that's, I mean, a lot of people want to do that. So I think being able to help people do that and get that system set up with them and show them exactly how to do it. So that way, when I'm looking in my inbox, I'm sitting there like, man, I can't wait for this next email to come in. It's going to change my life.
Yeah.
Because as you mentioned, it couldn't be a better fit for most companies out there to be able to turn their client's inbox into something they look forward to. When
Yeah.
in reality, you get 1,000 emails a day and you're not going to look at any of them, but having that one singular email that pops in, that gets starred, like that's such an amazing thing.
Exactly.
And I think it's a transformative power that every single business entrepreneur definitely should take a look at, really consider, right?
Yeah.
So I definitely love that. And so, like, as we mentioned, like the one good thing about that is we're gonna, with Krystin, she's gonna be walking people through exactly how to do that, to
Yeah.
really transform what they're doing marketing wise, to reach more people, to transition your passion to your prospects. And when are we going to be doing that? That's the beauty
Yeah.
of this.
That's going to be Saturday, March 25th at noon Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern. And I would carve out, a good couple, 3 hours for it, because when I dive into this, my intention is to make sure you walk away going, holy crap. Like that was amazing. I want you to say that to me at the end. If I have reached that pinnacle, then I know I've done a good job, right? I want you to walk away feeling like you got something amazing out of that, like you have actionable steps. So I actually do have a client that this whole thing is called Journey to $1 million or $1 million list, because I actually have a client where we've been going through this process. We do this with all of our clients, but this one was really special because they didn't just take me seriously on curating $1 million list. They made $1 million in the month of December, right? Like off of, like we sent 3 emails over the course of about 11 days to what was amounting to, I want to say about 6,700 people. I'd have to go look at the exact number, about 6,700 people. And believe me, that wasn't the first email that we've sent out for them, right? But it was what it culminated into. And I think everybody just had a really wonderful Christmas, not just all the people that work for that company, but all the people that they're serving that took them up on the offer. Because to make over $1 million in a single month was just a really nice way to end 2022, right? And so they took me very seriously on that. So I want to walk everybody through, because I get this question a lot. Like, how did you do that? How did that happen? What does it take to make that happen? I will answer that question. Why don't we just walk through it? It's literally a 4-step process. So I'm going to just cover all of that on Saturday, the 25th. We're going to walk through all 4 of those steps. And it's going to be one of those things where you're on camera and you can ask any questions that you have. I totally want to make sure people get their questions answered. because I'm all about helping people. I love to give value. So this isn't going to be some like nobody's allowed to talk kind of a thing. And let's just have some fun. Yeah. It's
Oh
gonna be
yeah.
awesome.
I'm excited for it. I mean, just in the chances where we've been able to Zoom call or had interactions, it's been nothing but fun. Like just getting to know you. High energy. You're like every call I walk away just being like, man, I didn't like it's just exponentially I'm finding out how much I don't know.
Nah,
And so I
I
think
may have put a few extra things in your email account. I
yeah,
may have built a few things inside of your CRM so that you could
oh,
have some better stuff in there. So that was fun too.
I'll have to check that out. I know I wouldn't even expect it the other day. And I was like, oh my Lord, this is awesome. Um, So I couldn't be more excited, and I couldn't be more excited to be able to share this with not only our audience, your audience, everybody's audience, to be able to offer in just the span of like for us, it was like 15 minutes, and I was already blown away. But to be able to do this over the course of a couple hours, I couldn't be more excited on what we're going to be able to do to transform someone's life on a Saturday of all days.
Yeah.
And then go into the next week fired up, be able to put that passion into your marketing, get you revved up, and I think
Yep.
it's going to be tremendously fun for everybody.
And I double dog every single person that registers and shows up for that session to walk away and actually implement something and then come tell me what they did. I
Oh
would
yeah.
love that, nothing more. I was speaking at an event one time. This was almost a year ago. It was the Commitment Summit, and which I'm doing again in June in Costa Rica. But anyway, I was speaking at this event, and I did a special session for people a couple of days prior to when I got up on stage. And I walked them through. We spent about 3 hours together. I walked them through the process, and then I challenged every one of them to go do the first thing that I was telling them to do, which I'll cover on the work session, right? But I challenged them like, do this. And some of them did it. And so when I got up on stage, I was able to ask the people in the audience, like, how many of you were at this special session with me? Which one of you actually did the thing that I taught you to do? And what were the results? And they stood up and they got on microphone. They actually said, this is what I did. And this is what the result was. And the audience was like, oh my gosh. So it really can happen that
Mhm.
way. It's just you have to understand the process, right? So that's what we're going to do on Saturday, the 25th. It's at noon Pacific and or 3 o'clock in the afternoon Eastern time. Just plan on a couple 3 hours and let's just go for it. I want to make sure that you guys get a ton of value out of it. It's going to be fun.
Oh man, you're going to see some posts coming from me at some juncture. So I love that idea. And so if you are interested, as we'd love to have you there. Get tremendous value, have a lot of fun. There's a link below this video where you can simply sign up. We're not going to spam you up and blow you up and anything like that, but we're really just here to be able to share the process that really has helped Krystin's clients so much and how she's helping
Yeah.
us. And we could not be more excited to be doing this event with you. And man, I'm looking forward to it.
Thank you. Yeah. And if you're not a copywriter, if you're sitting back there going, oh man, I mean, this sounds great, but I don't know how to write copy. It's okay. I didn't either.
Right.
The copy rises out of what we do, right? So you don't have to worry about that. I don't understand all the tech. Okay, great. That's really the easy part. I'll walk you through all of that. Oh my gosh, what tools should I be using? It's okay. We can cover all of that stuff. What about my list? My list hasn't really heard from me in a while or heard from me very much. Like how is that going to work? It's okay. Right. All we need is a list, not a cold. It can't be like, I just bought this list. I just scraped this
Right.
list. That's not the kind of email marketing we're talking about. We're talking about people who've raised their hand with some level of interest. So if you have a list, I don't care how big it is. I've made $100,000 off of, about 1,000 people, 1,333 people. Actually, we made $100,000 off of that one time. And that was an accident. I wasn't even trying to make money off of that. I was testing something to see who I should be when I show up at the door. What should my from name be? What should my from address be? Right. That was literally the point of the email. Made 98.5 off of that one. So don't get in your head on all of the stuff that you feel like you need to have or need to be to make this work. It's really not that complicated. And it's something that I'll just walk you through.
Love it. So just I guess to finish it up, if you're looking to make a mistake and make $100,000, please come to our event because that's what I just took away.
Right.
So cannot be more excited to be able to do this with you, be able to share the passion again, just get that in front of your audience, be able to then, re-embrace them, put content out there, talk to them individually. So obviously, if anybody has any questions, concerns, or anything they want to, reach out to us for, we'll be sure to answer any questions you got. Sign up for the event at the link below, and we're going to be having a great time next Saturday.
Yeah, just register, be there, be square. Let's have some fun.
Love it. Awesome. So please sign up. If you have any questions, reach out. But in the meantime, we look forward to be able to serve you guys next Saturday and really be able to transform it in the most positive way possible.
Awesome.
So thanks again, Krystin.
See you on the inside.
Oh, absolutely. So everybody have a good one.
Bye.